Murabaha is a particular kind of sale where the seller discloses its cost and markup to the buyer. The simplest example is if you go to an Islamic store and see a bag of potatoes that cost $2 but the sales price is $3. That's a very simple Murabaha transaction. In the commercial world, Murabaha financing is the most common type of transaction and is slightly more complex, so I'll be focusing on that today. Now let's say I want to buy a Ferrari from Bob, but I don't have enough money. In a conventional financing situation, I'll approach a bank for a $100 loan. Then I'll go to Bob and say, Bob, here's $100, give me your Ferrari. Bob, knowing that he's copped a sweet deal, will happily take the money and then transfer the title and ownership of the Ferrari over to me. Now because I've borrowed $100 from the bank, I have to repay the bank their principal plus interest to compensate for the time value of money. Contrast this with Murabaha financing. Instead of lending me $100 to buy the Ferrari, the Islamic bank purchases the Ferrari on my behalf, and then on-sells it to me at cost plus a markup, with payment deferred over a period of years. At first glance, this may seem similar to the concept of interest, but this is not true. Because the bank owns the asset before reselling it, the bank is exposed to the drop in value of the asset or the risk of destruction. Therefore, the markup is to reward the bank for taking on this extra risk. This four-step process is crucial to making a Murabaha transaction Sharia compliant. A variation is if the bank is also the vendor of the goods. In this case, only the third and fourth steps are needed. I'd like to finish off by briefly mentioning the problematic tax treatment of Murabaha transactions. Because the asset is transferred twice in a Murabaha transaction, it triggers the tax consequences of two consecutive transfers compared to just one in a conventional lending situation. This results in double taxation of taxes such as GST, CGT, income tax, and stamp duty. As a result, tax fees are excessive compared to conventional financing and is currently a barrier to Islamic financing in Australia.